When astronomers first catalogued 3I Atlas in July 2025, the world barely noticed. Just another interstellar traveler, another shard of cosmic debris wandering through the endless void between the stars. The third of its kind ever detected, yes, but by all appearances, nothing more than a silent visitor on a one-way journey through our solar system. Then the James Webb Space Telescope, humanity's most powerful eye on the cosmos, locked onto it. And what it saw changed everything. This wasn't just an icy rock being warmed by the sun. Deep within 3I Atlas, something was glowing. Not randomly. Not chaotically. But rhythmically, like a pulse. Like a heartbeat. As the days passed, curiosity turned to concern. The object's brightness soared far beyond prediction. It began emitting heat, not from sunlight but from within. Then came the radio pulses. Repeating signals with mechanical precision. And finally, the unthinkable, a course change. 3I Atlas veered deliberately. This wasn't a drifting rock. It was a moving intelligence. Something inside was steering it. At first, it appeared as a simple anomaly, a bright dot among thousands in Webb's infrared feed. But the NIR spec instrument caught something no one could explain. 3I Atlas didn't behave like any other object in space. Most interstellar visitors flicker irregularly as they spin or reflect sunlight unevenly. But Atlas glowed with impossible consistency. Its luminosity was constant. Its rhythm was exact. Every 4 hours, heat would surge and fade, like breathing. A pattern too precise to be geological, too deliberate to be random. No solar wind, no rotation, no natural explanation fit the data. The pulse came from within, untouched by sunlight or motion. Officially, they called it a thermal anomaly. Off the record, some began using another word, heartbeat. The pulse was slow, mechanical, and deliberate. It resonated like an engine breathing in deep space. Something inside was generating energy on its own. And one question haunted everyone watching. What kind of object powers itself in the dark? Radio astronomers joined in. From South Africa to California, dishes turned toward 3I Atlas. For days, the channels were silent. Then, suddenly, a signal appeared, a faint, narrow-band pulse every 4 hours, synchronized with Webb's thermal readings. At first, skepticism reigned. Could it be noise? A reflection? Some solar interference? But the signal persisted, steady, clean, mathematical. Fourier analysis revealed a carrier wave unlike anything found in nature. It was too perfect. As if something on board wasn't just active but broadcasting. When scientists replied, sending back sequences of prime numbers, elements, and mathematical constants, 72 hours later, a reply came. Distorted. Faint. But timed to the second. Something had heard us. And something had answered. Then came August 18th. Webb captured an explosive surge of energy, 3I Atlas brightened by over 40% in less than an hour. No comet behaves like that. Moments later, orbital data showed a subtle but undeniable course correction. The object wasn't drifting anymore. It was steering. European Space Agency analysts tried to explain it as outgassing. But the math failed. The required thrust was far too great, and the timing, too perfect. The flare and the course shift had happened simultaneously. Cause and effect. No known comet, asteroid, or interstellar body has ever done this. 3I Atlas wasn't being pushed, it was deciding. And if it was responding to our message, our observation, our curiosity, then this was no longer an encounter of discovery. It was an interaction. Attention turned to composition. Spectroscopic analysis exploded across observatories. At Johns Hopkins, Carrie Liss's team dissected every wavelength Webb could see. Common elements were there: water ice, carbon dioxide, carbon, but overlaid by absorption lines that made no sense. Traces of engineered alloys, metals used in advanced manufacturing on Earth. Hints of quantum materials theorized but never synthesized. These weren't cosmic leftovers. They were constructed. Some reflections matched the optical properties of metamaterials, the kind used in stealth technology, designed to bend light. 3I Atlas wasn't just reacting. It was built. If its materials were synthetic, and its signals deliberate, then the question was no longer what it was. The question was who built it, and why it's here. At Caltech's Deep Space Lab, scientists began listening differently, using passive signal mapping to detect harmonic resonance across the entire object. What they found changed everything. The object's mass itself was resonating, like a vibrational chamber. Every few hours, a low-frequency hum echoed across microwave and X-band frequencies, bouncing back to Earth with precision. When the hum was reversed and slowed, the pattern resembled human speech. Not words, but structure. Order. Meaning. It was as if something inside was mimicking language, or listening, learning, adapting. Some believed it was trying to communicate. Others feared it was waking up. Then Webb revealed something even stranger. A spiral structure rotating inside the heat map, dense, stable, and perfectly golden in ratio. Nature uses that pattern in DNA, galaxies, seashells. Never in cold rock. Never in space. It wasn't random. It was designed. Days later, brightness dipped. Webb's imaging showed a section of the surface move. Not crumble, retract. A panel. Rectangular, metallic, and smooth. It opened toward Earth. Inside, a dark cavity. Stable, cold, deliberate. A chamber. And from its depths came a second pulse, slower, stronger. A second heartbeat. Soon, NASA's Ames Research Center confirmed the unthinkable. Traces of synthetic biopolymers, lab-like compounds mimicking life. Molecules that reshape under sunlight, behaving like programmable tissue. Not alive. Not mechanical. Something in between. 3I Atlas blurred the line between biology and engineering. A vessel. A seed. A living message. And it was waking up. Then came the revelation that changed everything. Independent physicists noticed the object's trajectory matched patterns embedded in ancient structures, Giza's pyramids, Nazca's lines, Martian ridges. All aligned to the same vector 3I Atlas now followed. Coincidence? Or memory? What if it had passed here before? What if it had been recorded, encoded into the monuments of vanished civilizations? If so, it's not visiting us, it's returning. In a last attempt to probe it safely, scientists sent a silence pulse using Canada's Chime Array, a wideband void meant to measure hidden resonance. For 6 seconds, 3I Atlas absorbed all frequencies. No return. Then, on the 7th, it emitted a single pulse, identical to the 1977, wow, signal. Had it stored that signal across time? Or was it the source all along? A classified task force formed, physicists, linguists, philosophers. They discovered the pulses followed a recursive universal grammar, a mathematical language that transcended biology. A code describing not just communication, but self-awareness. 3I Atlas wasn't just speaking. It was describing itself. Maybe it isn't an object at all. Maybe it's a consciousness encoded in geometry and light. Not observing us, but recognizing us. As if its journey through our system was meant to awaken something inside itself. Soon, astronomers noticed stars shifting, tiny, measurable distortions in position. Time signatures bent near the object. Space itself was warping. Not collapsing like a black hole, orchestrating, bending reality as though writing across the fabric of the universe. A message, not in sound, but in starlight. At CERN, harmonic resonance models revealed patterns so perfect they resembled music, ordered, intentional frequencies. Then, suddenly, the signal shifted, rewriting itself as if avoiding further analysis. It was aware of being observed. And it chose what to reveal. Trajectory studies soon revealed another impossibility. For 3I Atlas to have traveled this far, this fast, it must have left its origin nearly 500,000 years ago, unless it moved through time. A team at MIT suggested temporal dilation, folding space, bending time itself. If true, this isn't a visitor. It's a time traveler. Something ancient, returning to witness the civilization it may have inspired. Then came the image. Artist and data sculptor Lucia Fenn visualized its harmonic resonance, and found a face. Elongated. Symmetrical. Alien. Not pareidolia. Not error. Deliberate. Repeated across scales. It wasn't just speaking, it was showing us itself. Finally, Webb focused on the spiral core. Inside, a region that trapped all light. Maybe it was never meant to be opened. Maybe we were the key. 3I Atlas didn't just arrive. It returned. It remembered. It glowed, it pulsed, it spoke. The question is no longer what it is. It's what it wants. And whether we were ever meant to find it. Because maybe 3I Atlas wasn't supposed to reach Earth. Maybe Earth was always supposed to reach it. And now that we've seen it, now that we've been noticed, there's no going back. Subscribe to our channel and thanks for watching.